on the 50th anniversary of the Flixborough disaster. I'd never heard of Flixborough till I saw the ad go up for chemical engineers to work on shift. With money tight, no other work, I moved and took the job. My wife, young children, Bleak flat in town, our poor old Austin letting me down. But having work to go to, that's a gift. The first day in the job made one thing clear I might have guessed. My Chem-Eng BSc counted for naught. The chemicals I'd met were small lab samples or in books, but those guys worked to operate a living beast for 8 hours straight. How was it done? Well, they made sure I was taught. The safety kit, important, taken seriously by all. Goggles, gloves with overalls and boots. And always wear your hard hat. Look, Jeff's old one, a close call. A rotten steel supporting stave. Fell from a height. Jeff's life was saved. Don't go outside without kit. No disputes. Process operators have their busy times and lulls. Some days a lot to do out on the site. But often we'd sit talking, drinking mugs of tea. Time crawls while keeping note of temps and pressures, hourly readings and not much changes. As friends, we passed long day shifts, endless nights. We handled chemicals in bulk. Of course, we knew the score. Strong acids, flammables and HP steam. And toxic solvents too, the benzene tank outside our door. But even so, we felt secure. We read our blueprints, climbed our towers. We reckoned it was safe. That's how it seemed. We never fretted fire explosion risks, but all the same, we took all the precautions that we knew. Yet, truth, one time the surface water drains were filled with flame. And firemen, called to put it out, they reasoned, leave it, let it doubt itself. If not, what would the spillage do? I try 50 years on to bring to mind my mates from then. I read their names, still can't believe they're gone. I'd left the plant some time before it all went up in flames. My job was only temporary. I joined as start-up engineer. So once the plant was working, I was done. The Nypro magazine back then had pictures of the lost, but I still see the men around the table. I remember Dennis making sure the tea fund ran just so. His previous job with bitumen had taken breath away from him, improved, he made his roll-ups as small as possible. And there sits John, a true, keen naturalist. What things he knew. First aider, bathed my eyes after a spill. And Jim, with his soft Irish voice, is there, and others too. They talk a while, then rise and go. Then Nip turns up, our SMO. Will he have something new to say? He will. Now, Nip, a great supporter of the Scunthorpe football team, would be upset when shifts meant missing games. But Nip's best mate was Neville, and he too was on C shift. And Neville could, for certain sure, just make Nip laugh, you too, if you were flagging, finding lates and nights a strain. On June the 1st, some years ago, I read the Nypro through, saw Nip's name, well, his real name, in the list. So many of the men I'd known were gone, I understood. But Neville's name was not listed. I looked again. Could I have missed it? No. At least one workmate must have lived. Well, finally one day, thinking of nothing much at all, a new and fearful thought just fell to mind. Though we all called him Neville, one day Nip had said to me that Nev's real name was Densel, so I found the book and leafed it through. I couldn't look, but I just knew. And there, oh, there it was, the saddest find.